G'day guys and welcome to another episode of The Bounce Accounts. I'm Cutsy here. Well, I can't take a break at the moment because my team, Golden State Warriors, just got knocked out of the playoffs over the weekend, and now they have sacked Mark Jackson, who is the coach. Sort of news that sort of came out of nowhere over the last probably month or two. There's been little rumblings that the front office of the Golden State Warriors have not been exactly happy with Mark Jackson after a couple of rumours that one of the assistants actually was filming meetings between players and staff, so he was sacked, and he was actually picked up by the Boston Celtics basically straight away after he was sacked by the Warriors. So front office found that obviously they had to sack him after that happened. But yeah, and then so Brian Scalabrine, also who everyone loves online, he was actually sent to the D-League affiliate, the Santa Cruz Warriors, after having a falling out with tactics with Mark Jackson. So it's interesting there. But here it says Mark Jackson was fired after 3 seasons today, ending the most successful coaching tenure in the past 2 decades at the club, at the franchise. Joe Lacob has come out saying obviously it was not the decision was obviously not made exclusively on wins and losses. So obviously you can see from that quote that something a bit more underlying to the decision to get rid of Mark Jackson, because he was loved by the players. So one quote here we've got by Steph Curry: "I want Coach Jackson to be the guy leading us into the future." He also came out to say after Jackson was released from his contract, saying that Jackson is like a second father to him, and some players, even Festus Ezeli, I try and put up the pictures from their Instagrams, said he was like he was like a brother, an older brother to him. They learnt so much from him. He was a major reason why some players like Draymond Green, who were second round draft picks, have actually come out to be massive players in this league. Green had a massive game 7 against the Clippers. Also, Lacob and General Manager Bob Myers thanked Jackson, saying he helped the Warriors make them a more attractive franchise. This can be true with the players we actually have now in our roster. But Myers said that the decision to dismiss Jackson was unanimous among the team's executives, though still not easy, in part because the Warriors wanted a coach who can develop a synergy with everybody in basketball operations. Jackson's time with the Warriors will be remembered for the way he helped turn a losing franchise into a consistent winner, and bold and bombastic way he did it. Jackson, like I said before, the players loved him, and it's obviously hard to get rid of him. Doc Rivers came out with a quote this morning saying, "George Karl was Coach of the Year last year and got fired. Mark Jackson gets a team to multiple playoffs for the first time in 1,000 years, and then he gets fired. It's our job, it's a tough job, and I think everybody knows it now more than ever." So it's going to be interesting where the Warriors go from here. He had 121 regular season victories over his whole career as Warriors coach. That included the last 2 seasons where he had, I think it was 97 wins over 2 seasons or something. He had 51 wins this year, but the management were not happy with the way they lost to a couple of lower teams that pushed them back to number 6 in the playoffs in the Western Conference, a stacked Western Conference, where at the moment if they'd won that amount of games they probably would have finished 3rd in the East. So obviously from 6th last year the Warriors made the 2nd round, but it was one thing I'll ask you guys now is, I was going to ask this at the end, do you think Mark Jackson would still be here at the Warriors team if they had beaten the Clippers in Game 7? Or would they still had enough reason to sack him? The Warriors did pick up his coach option, his option to coach another year, when Mark Jackson actually wanted to discuss another contract. So that could be a little bit of a reason there. Now going into who we reckon will replace him. Fred Hoiberg, who's actually at the moment at Iowa State University. He's doing quite well for them. He's a former 10-year shooting guard, 4 years with the Minnesota Timberwolves in the front office there, and is currently the head coach of Iowa State. He's rebuilding a program into a national powerhouse, and in 4 seasons he's compiled a record of 90 and 47. That's a very good record, a young coach, and he's only 41 years of age. So going in that direction could be different for the Warriors. Also got Steve Kerr, who is just like Mark Jackson. He's a TNT reporter. And most people love him as a former point guard, so it's exactly the same. But at the moment, Phil Jackson, who's now the general manager of the New York Knicks, has said Kerr is his #1 choice. Basically, that's what a lot of people are saying out there. But Kerr's also been the general manager of the Phoenix Suns between 2007 and 2010. And probably one of the most difficult runs for the Suns in that career time. Then turned them into a powerhouse. Also, some of the decisions he made. Managed the team to had 3 second-place finishes in the division and 2 playoff appearances. Also in the final season, they lost in the Western Conference Finals to the Lakers. So he's got a winning mentality there. Steve Kerr would be just sort of I don't know if he's an upgrade from Jackson, but it'll be interesting to see where they go if they ended up picking him, because a lot of people are saying that it's probably Steve Kerr who will take the Knicks and Mark Jackson as his assistant. So you'll have to wait and see. And finally, Stan Van Gundy, ex-Orlando Magic coach. He has stints with also the Miami Heat. He has, in his 8-year NBA career, he has 371 wins to 208 losses in regular season. So it's a very good record, and he has never had a losing record as a coach in a season. So that's massive news. He'd be a win now option for the Warriors. It'd be interesting to see how he goes with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson backcourt. But he also only lost the Western Conference Finals to the Boston Celtics. And they also lost the Eastern of... they lost to... can't remember. But, they lost to the Lakers in one of the years, I'm pretty sure. So it's going to be interesting where we go from here now for the Warriors fans. Who do you want to replace Mark Jackson? Do you think it was the right decision to make? Please subscribe to the Bounce Accounts with more news coming on this now. We're doing a lot more featured videos on separate bits instead of massive episodes now. So other members of the team, Risty and Alice, will be doing videos that more interest them also and interest you guys. So thank you for watching the Liverpool reaction show from last night, and keep in touch with us. We'll be doing now World Cup stuff, more NBA stuff with the playoffs coming up. So who do you want to be the next Golden State Warriors coach? Do you think it was right to fire Mark Jackson? Please comment below, and catch you guys later. Cheers.